good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Of course, it's good afternoon in China. So today, I'd like to share with you a very interesting program called Pamery. Okay, so it's a kind of family program designed for 3 to 8 years old kids family. So let me give you a brief introduction. My name is Vera Song. So I am a member of the Pamery program. So Pamery is short for Parenting Memory, which is aimed to provide high-quality parent-children interactive experiences in order to create family memories and also to better understand the growth of your children. In this way, that parents can be a better facilitator in the development of their children. So think about it. If you have one day to be together with your 3 to year-old kid, what does your family activity look like? Okay, so there are two options. The first one is go to some places that your kid loves. Of course, kids will have fun time there. So how does parent feel? Does the kid really feel accompanied by the parents? So we think by your side doesn't mean accompany the child. And there's a second option. You can go to some places suitable for the whole family. For example, going to the nature or visit some kind of museums. So now let's think about these questions. Does the kid really feel happy? Do the parents feel they're enhancing their family relations? Or can they feel the impact on their kids' future success? So here, you're accompanying your children, but it doesn't mean you are doing the positive parenting. It raises the problem to us that what is really an effective and efficient parenting? So it strikes us a sentence like this. At the end of the day, the most overwhelming key to a child's success is the positive involvement of the parents. So it is the inspiration that pushed us to develop a kind of program which can engage both of the parents with their children in some kind of interactive activities. So how to get a positive parenting involvement? So the priority is to have fun yourself. And also, you can make your kids having fun too. In the process, you can understand your kids better to let them feel being supported safely and happily. So these are the principles which is the basis for us to develop our program. Okay, so here I present the Pamery family experience. Let's have a close look. So the Pamery family experiences, we value having fun in the priority. So that is the basis we design our activities. So for the first step, we're going to decide the purpose of each event and activities. So the purpose of each event will basically fall into 4 categories, namely nature, science, art, history, or culture. And then, based on which, we decide a place to go. Usually, it could be museums, galleries, exhibition center, farms, parks, or some specialized hotel. They're featuring some local themes, which is really popular in China these days. And then we're going to design the session activities, which are going to take place in these different places with your children. So basically, it is composed of 3 sessions: communication session, team session, and individual task session. Okay, so that's the first part of our program. We're going to design an activity in a certain place. And during the whole activity process, we're also going to observe, rather the parents are going to observe, how do their children perform or enjoy in this process. So there are going to be a lot of observation points in relation to a certain domain concerning children's development. And in this way, we want to achieve the ultimate goal to better understand our kids. So here, let me give you an example. That is the art detective. So the purpose of the art detective activity is to explore and feel emotions from portrait, to understand our own emotions, which will land an impact on the people around us. So based on this purpose, we choose an art museum. Of course, a similar purpose may take place in different places. That is what we want to see how the environmental variables may lead to different reactions from children, so that the parents will know that their children's most comfortable and suitable place to learn and to have fun. For example, this is the art purpose. So if the purpose is to understand the local vegetations and thus to have a fully understanding of your daily diet, we could either choose to go to the natural museum or the farm. So two different environments, our children may act differently on similar tasks. So I'll lead you into the exploration to be the art detective. Okay, so now you're going to see is our event design. So the session 1 is about the preparation. The children and parents, they're going to receive a kit, which is composed of all the materials, the task brochure, and pencils. They may also have some puzzles depending on the story itself. So the parents are going to be the art detective. They are going to receive a junior badge. And the students or the children, they're going to be the junior ones, and parents the senior ones. And of course, they're going to receive kits like this. So if you're going to the detective, you can wear the detective hat or the glasses. Sometimes you may need some extra gadget as well, okay? So we would like the parents and the children, they're going to share one thing in common. For example, they are all wearing a hat or they're all wearing glasses, indicating a very close partnership during the whole activities. So the whole family are going to receive this. That comes to the communication session. The parents are going to speak loud about what is the task, what is the story going on here. And the children are going to receive the message and are going to perform the task with the guidance of their parents or individual task as well. So the second session is the main session about their missions. For example, in this art detective, we've got 3 pieces of artwork that children are going to find, but they only receive a part of the artwork. So the first one is the artwork. They're going to open the first piece, and the children are not asked to find out the artwork immediately. First, they're going to have a quick discussion with their parents. They're going to feel the picture, the emotion behind it, or the background, the setting. The children are even asked to describe what does it look like. And the same thing goes to the second and the third piece. But there's a slightly difference. Is the second piece will require a team session. That means the parents and the children are going to look for the artwork together. Well, when it comes to the third piece, it is the individual task session, which means the children are going to follow the routes of the first 2 missions and to find the third piece by themselves. Once the children have done the task, they're going to a reward session. Of course, it is included in the senior detective's brochure. And comes to a communication session as well. Okay, and if the time allowed, we're going to move for another 2 extra sessions. Like in the session 3, we're going to find a sad woman. Remember, the goal of this detective is to sense and perceive the feelings behind the pictures and to empathy, for the children to empathy with it and to find the right artwork. So for the mission 1, it is a team session. We're going to find an artwork which shows a sad woman, and the children are going to draw it down together with their parents as well. So in this way, it is not the sole answer. There might be a lot of sad women, portrait or sculptures or just paintings everywhere. there might be the case that you couldn't find one sad woman in the gallery as well. So you have to find the most likely one. So you can see the picture on the right. That is a parent, obviously me. Okay, I'm drawing with a kid, a 5-year kid. So we found a picture and she saw that was the sad woman. And we're going to put it down. And we're using the finger to indicate how does a sad woman looks with some symbols of her facial features, like the eyebrows or the drooping eyes or something else. Okay, and then we'll come to the session 4. There's another mission 3, Fury Mask. It is also included in the brochures distributed to the kids and parents alike. So there is a mask, and it is an individual task session. The children are going to draw a mask to make it a fury mask, an angry face. Okay, so it also involves the creativity during the session 4. The last part is session 5. We're going to make a report, which is communication basis. The children are going to choose one of the pictures to tell us what is she or he looking for them, the process of looking for it and putting it down. Or if the kid is capable, he or she can tell us the whole process of all the mission that he or she has accomplished. So that's the complete session design of our activities to be an art detective. And then what will the parents do? As we mentioned before, during the activities, we don't want our parents just stand there looking at their cell phones or just doing anything else. They've got a very important task, that is to observe. So we design observation points in each activity. The observations are designed based on the primary children development framework structure. One of my colleagues has mentioned it early this morning, Ms. Zhang. And observations are linked to multiple development elements. Parents are going to record the observations during or after the family activities. So the parents' brochure is a little bit slightly different from the children's because there are observations points column that parents are going to tick the column to choose one while they're having the activities. So let me give you an example. So here are a lot of red dots. So these red dots contains different observation points, like observation point 1, and it is integrated into different missions and different sessions. For some of the sessions, it may involve more than 2 or 3 observation points, while for the others, it may be just 1 or 2. Okay, so let's have a close look. For example, for the third piece of the artwork from the gallery, so that is individual task session. So when the students are out to look for the important artwork, the parents is going to see, did the little detective find the third artwork? So A, no, the little detective didn't find it. B, yes, but was led by parents to find it. Remember, this is an individual task session. So we are going to see if the little detective, that's our children, can carry out individual tasks by themselves. C, yes, but asked for a few supporters from the parents. D, yes, little detective found it all by his or her own. So these observation points are really simple because the parents can just take some time to tick one of them and we'll put it together to fill in our data. Okay, so that is all of the observation points from the art detective activities. We carried out a trial activity with 3 children. One is 5-year-old, one 6, and the other is 7. So each represent different age group. And from their performance, later on you're going to see the report. So you can see the different observation point may link to or connect to different domains. And those domains are closely related to the development of our children. So these are the domains that we think are very vital to the development of kids. There are 5 areas: leadership responsibility, language and social, logic and reasoning, art and creativity, learning skills and knowledge. And under each domain, there are subdomains and detailed indicators as well. So based on which, we're going to formulate a fact-based data and considering the environment and personal variables. And we come up with a model of our children's development. And it could be a portrait of our children at this stage as well. So in this way, when the parents receive this situational performance evaluation, the parents will have a better understanding about their children. The 5-area development status of their children indicate in this situation and in this stage age, how their children would perform in this certain task. So it is really dependent on the age and environment. For example, the kids may react differently when it comes to the nature, not in the gallery. And also when you receive this portrait report, the parents are going to understand at which situation would be better to develop the children's specific skills. So here's our trial activities. You can see from the detective, the art detective, we focus on the 3 parts, which are the 3 sessions of the activities itself. So that's the communication session, team session, individual task session. Okay, for example, the 7-year-olds, the boy above, showed a very stable social skills, learning skills, and knowledge during the whole process of activities. Well, compared to the 4-year-olds, approximately 5-year-olds, her ability was showed relatively unstable across 3 different sessions during the activities. And we can also see she can perform well in the individual task rather than in a group task. So we will suggest her parents, when you're going to communicate with your children, it is better to have individual communication rather than in a group or in front of a lot of people. So that is the best way for this child to carry out her activities and her development to learn something new. Okay, so the overall purpose of the PAMORI, we designed a lot of activities which is highly sensitive depending on their age groups and the environment. We would like our parents to accompany their child and better understand their child to find out what is the current development situation of their children and what is the better way to develop his or her different skills, and what is a better way to communicate with him or her. So again, it's not an evaluation process. We're not going to assess what kind of skill that your child is good at. We want to help the parents to better facilitate the growth, the learning experience of your children. So all in all, wish you happy parenting. Okay, so if you are interested in PAMORI program and you would like to involve in the research and practice, you can contact us and have fun together.
Yeah, thank you, Vera. And yeah, in fact, there are so many data, right? And when we were at the art museum, and I find that it's really very interesting because we are all parents and educators. So when we see such fun activities, we can't help to play that by ourselves first.
Yeah. And we got a lot of gadgets.
Sure. And looks like a lot of thought have been put into it, into designing it, and also making sure that parents do get involved in it. because usually it is the same as you said, we go on, we are on our devices and maybe the kids are playing. So that interaction is missing.
Yeah, yeah, and engagement of the parents are very
Correct.
important. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes we find
So
a situation that situation usually happens when my boy was 3 years old. I thought, because I'm an engineer before and my husband is an engineer, so we thought that our son would be the person would like to do something by himself or would like to try something to do that and to try something out. And but when we find out there's another activity is also designed the same way as Vera just introduced, and we find out that our son is not of engineer kind. He would love to communicate with people to develop his logical and some other skills rather than in individual task or teamwork task sessions. So from then on, we know that we misunderstood him for such a long time. He would love to talk to us and share his ideas rather than to do that by him own. So we find that it is necessary. Sometimes we think that we understand the kid, but actually we are not treating them in the way they would love to.
yes, it is true, very true. Like we need to identify, we may, as you said, that we would want, or we may think, okay, they will do the same as we did, they will become the same as we are. But each and every child is so different. Even my two kids, they are completely different. Their learning styles are different. They want to do different things. It's just that how to identify it and then help them learn and engage with them in the way they find interesting, and like we encourage them in their own learning style.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Vera. And I think there might be more people interested in this research. And if everyone interested, please contact us and contact the filmmaker here. So, and thank you, Vera, again for joining us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
Thank you.